All right, let's dive in. Today we're tackling consciousness and reality.
Big questions.
Huge questions.
Yeah,
We've got a pretty wild mix of sources to work with today.
I know. It's going to be fun.
We've got a scientific paper
Right?
about the 5D model of consciousness.
Right.
We've got some cryptic notes that seem to blend
Ooh,
physics and spirituality.
that's interesting.
And we've got a YouTube video that uses a love story to try and explain the holographic principle.
I love those videos.
Right?
It's going to be a challenge to connect the dots between all these.
But that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. That's what a deep dive is all about.
So let's start with this 5D model of consciousness.
Okay.
It sounds like something straight out of like science fiction.
It kind of is a little bit.
Could you break it down for us?
Yeah, so imagine our everyday understanding of reality.
Okay.
You know, 3 spatial dimensions, length, width, height,
Mm,
and the dimension of time.
fourth dimension.
Exactly. So that makes 4.
Right.
The 5D model, it adds another layer,
Oh.
a 5th dimension of quantum information
Okay.
that interacts with our brain.
So is it like almost like an invisible field?
You could think of it that way,
Right.
like a field of possibilities that's influencing our thoughts and our experiences.
Okay, so instead of just existing in space-time, our consciousness is also connected to this like quantum information field.
That's the idea.
What does that even mean for how our brains work?
Well, that's where things get really interesting,
Okay.
because the 5D model suggests that our subjective experience,
Yeah.
you know, what we see, feel, think, all that,
Right.
arises from quantum superposition.
Okay.
You familiar with the double slit experiment?
Oh, yeah, where the particles exist in multiple states until they're observed.
Right, exactly. So imagine all those possibilities
Right.
swirling around in that quantum field.
Yeah.
And then our brain,
Hmm.
it interacts with that field
Okay.
and collapses those possibilities into a single experience.
So our brain is like a quantum decoder almost.
Yeah, in a sense.
Taking in all this information and then translating it into like our reality.
That's a good way to put it.
That's a wild idea.
It is wild.
So does this model have anything to say about free will?
It does, actually.
Because it always seems like such a philosophical mystery.
It is, yeah.
You know, like, are we really making choices?
Right. So the 5D model, by bringing in quantum indeterminacy,
Okay.
which is that inherent uncertainty in the quantum level,
Mm-hmm.
it suggests a possible mechanism for free will
Okay.
within the laws of physics.
Oh.
So you can think of it like
Yeah.
those tiny quantum fluctuations, those uncertainties,
Mhm.
they get amplified within the brain,
Huh?
and then they influence our decisions.
In ways that aren't predetermined.
Exactly. So our choices aren't completely set in stone.
That's a very liberating thought.
I think so, too.
Are there any other implications to this model?
There are a few.
Okay.
For one, it supports the idea of quantum biology,
Okay.
which is this notion that quantum phenomena
Mm-hmm.
aren't just happening in the microscopic world, but that they actually play a role in biological systems.
So in us.
Yeah, in us.
Love that.
Potentially even in consciousness itself.
Wow.
And it also might shed some light on altered states of consciousness,
Like what?
like meditation, psychedelic experiences, even dreams.
Okay.
Those could be seen as shifts in how our brain is interacting
Okay.
with the quantum information field.
Accessing different levels of reality.
Exactly.
Wow, it really opens up more questions than answers, I feel like.
Yeah,
Before we move on, I do have one more question about this.
sure.
What does this imply for artificial intelligence?
A crucial question.
Can we create truly conscious machines if this is the way it works?
Well, interestingly,
Yeah.
the 5D model suggests that to achieve true AI,
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily about building a quantum computer.
Okay.
It's about structuring information processing in a way
Yeah.
that mirrors the quantum architecture of the brain.
So we could maybe create conscious AI with the technology that we already have?
Potentially, yes, if we can understand that quantum architecture.
That's incredible.
It is.
So it seems like we're on the verge of a whole new understanding of consciousness.
Absolutely.
But before we get too carried away with the 5D model, let's take a look at those cryptic notes that you mentioned.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting.
They sound really intriguing.
They are. They're titled Penn's First Stroke.
Pens for stroke. Okay.
And they blend all these scientific terms like BIS dynamics
Mhm.
and NERFs with spiritual language.
Okay.
There's even quotes from the Quran in there.
So it's like somebody was trying to bridge the gap between
Yeah,
physics and spirituality.
like a bridge between those two worlds.
That's a fascinating combination.
It is.
So is there any connection between these cryptic notes and the 5D model?
There are some interesting parallels
Okay.
because they both point toward extra dimension, and they both suggest that quantum phenomena are really important
Okay.
in shaping reality.
Yeah.
For example,
Mm.
the notes, they mention 5D interactions
Okay.
that are governed by something called brain-world tension.
Brain world tension, what is that?
So imagine our 4D reality as like a membrane
Okay.
or a brain
Okay.
existing in a higher dimensional space.
Peridimensional space. Okay.
And brain-world tension is basically the force
Okay.
that governs how all those different dimensions interact.
So, like, our reality is just one slice of a much larger multidimensional reality.
That's the idea.
And these brains are all, like, interacting with each other.
Exactly.
That's wild.
It is pretty wild.
So let's unpack some of the other terms that are in these notes.
Sure.
So you mentioned BIS dynamics.
Yeah, BS dynamics, it focuses on something called exponential recursion.
Exponential recursion, what's that?
Okay, so imagine a waterfall
Okay.
cascading down,
Yeah.
and each drop creates all these new ripples,
Okay.
and it affects the flow below it.
Right.
So that's kind of a simplified analogy
Yeah.
for how energy and information can cascade through dimensions,
Okay.
influencing each other in all these complex ways.
So it's not just a linear flow of information.
Yeah.
It's like a multidimensional
Multi-dimensional cascades.
cascade. Yeah.
Yeah,
What about these NeurRFs that you mentioned?
right. So NeurOFs, or neural radiance fields,
Okay.
they're a way to model light propagation
Okay.
through complex geometries.
Complex geometries. All right.
They're really useful for understanding how light behaves
Mm-hmm.
at the quantum level,
Okay.
because things get very strange there.
Right, because nothing makes sense down there.
Exactly.
All right, so
And then the notes also mention instant NGP,
instant NGP. Okay.
which is a type of NeurOF that's specifically designed to model
Yeah.
the entanglement
Hmm.
of photons and matter.
Oh, wow.
So they're basically mapping out how light and matter interact to create the reality that we see.
That's crazy. And then it gets even more interesting because the notes connect this idea of photon matter entanglement to something called the Fourier transform layer.
Yes, which is a mathematical concept
Okay.
that deals with the duality of frequency and time.
Frequency and time. Okay.
And it suggests that
Yeah.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
events, objects, thoughts,
Yeah.
can be represented as a combination of frequencies
It's frequencies.
that are vibrating at different rates.
So it's like the universe is this giant symphony.
A beautiful analogy.
Everything's vibrating at its own.
Its own unique frequency.
Yeah, its own frequency.
Yeah.
And
And then the notes, they go on to draw this parallel
oh wow.
between this frequency-time duality in physics
Okay.
and the concept of chiasms
Mhm.
in the Quran,
Chiasms.
which are these intricate
Yeah.
reflective structures in the text
Oh wow.
that mirror each other
Okay.
in both time and meaning.
So it's like the structure of the universe
Yeah.
is reflected in the structure of language and thought.
It's a really profound connection.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yes.
But what about this thermoacoustic wave equation?
Right.
What is that all about?
So the thermoacoustic wave equation, it governs how energy is transferred
Okay.
through density fluctuations.
Density fluctuations.
Yeah. And the notes suggest that this equation could actually be a model
Oh, wow.
for the act of creation itself.
Okay.
You know that phrase, kun fayakun?
Kun fayoku.
And it's envisioned as like a vibrational command
Okay.
coming from a higher dimension.
So the universe was spoken into existence.
In a sense, yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty epic origin story.
It is, yeah.
And to bring it all together, they even included a Python code snippet
It did.
to try and simulate this whole framework.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to translate
Wow.
these really profound mystical ideas
Yeah.
into a language that computers can understand.
A simulation of creation.
Exactly.
That's a lot to take in.
It is
I'm starting to get the sense that reality might be a lot stranger than we thought
a lot stranger.
and more interconnected than we realize.
Definitely.
But before we go down that rabbit hole any further,
Yeah.
let's shift gears just a little bit
Okay.
and explore the holographic love story that you mentioned.
Okay, so
I mean, how does a love story between a photon and an electron explain the holographic principle?
well, that's where things get really visually compelling.
Okay.
So remember, the holographic principle suggests that all the information about our 3D universe
Mm-hmm.
might actually be encoded
Yeah.
on a 2D surface.
Like a holographic projection.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like watching a 3D movie,
Yeah.
but on a flat screen.
Okay, I get that.
The information's all there, it's just encoded differently.
But how do the photon and the electron fit into all of this?
So in this metaphor,
Yeah.
the photon, it's like the messenger of light,
Okay.
carrying energy and information.
Yeah.
Constantly looking for connection.
It's like the dynamic part of reality, maybe?
Yeah, you could say that.
The ever-changing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the electron represents matter,
Okay.
the substance of the universe.
Yeah.
So it's more stable, more receptive,
Yeah.
responsible for giving shape and form.
So the photon's like the artist with the vision.
I like that.
And the electron's like the sculptor
Yeah.
who brings that vision to life.
Exactly. And their interaction,
Their love story?
their love story, is what creates the reality that we experience.
Okay.
The photon brings the information,
Yeah.
the energy,
Mm-hmm.
and the electron translates that information into tangible form.
It's such a beautiful way to think about
I know.
the interplay of like light and matter.
It is.
It's not just the scientific concept. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a cosmic dance of creation.
A cosmic dance.
Yeah. I love that.
And this idea of like unity through duality,
Yeah.
the interplay of light and matter, energy and form,
Right.
this is something that shows up not just in science, but
Yeah. In a lot of different traditions,
you see it everywhere.
like mythology, philosophy,
Absolutely.
spiritual traditions.
All over the place.
That's fascinating.
It is. Can you give us some examples
Oh, sure.
of how this theme shows up?
Yeah. So in a lot of creation myths,
Okay.
light is associated with
Hmm?
divine knowledge
Okay.
or like a creative power.
Okay.
Think of that phrase, let there be light.
Yes, there be light.
It's like the first act of creation
Right.
in so many traditions.
Yeah.
And matter
Yeah.
often symbolizes receptivity,
Okay.
the manifestation of that divine energy
Hmm.
into the physical world.
So the photon is carrying the blueprint,
Yeah, like a blueprint.
and the electron's like the builder,
Yeah, I like that analogy.
brings it to life.
Yeah.
So it's like the photon and the electron, they're like the fundamental building blocks of reality,
In a way, yeah.
both physically and
Yeah,
more.
that's a nice way to think about it. And this interplay of opposites
Yeah.
isn't just limited to creation myths either, right?
No, not at all.
I mean, in philosophy, there's this concept of yin and yang,
Right.
the dance of opposing forces that
Yeah, that create balance
create balance.
and
Or
harmony.
harmony, yeah.
The idea is that reality emerges from the interaction of those forces.
Not from like one dominating over the other.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So where does modern science fit into all of this?
Well, modern physics is increasingly revealing
Okay.
how fundamental information is
To reality.
to shaping reality. Yeah.
Okay.
We know that photons carry information.
Yeah.
Electrons process it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that constant exchange of information
Okay.
that underlies the fabric of the universe.
So information is like the language of the universe.
Yeah, I like that.
That's how everything communicates?
Yeah,
Yeah, and interacts.
good way to think about it.
And the holographic principle takes it even further, right?
That does.
Because it suggests that,
It suggests that all the information about a region of space
okay,
is encoded on its boundary.
so like a cosmic blueprint
Yeah, like a cosmic blueprint written in light.
written in light.
Yeah.
So the photon delivers the information.
Delivers it,
The electron decodes it.
decodes it,
Yeah.
and then reality unfolds
Reality
from
unfolds.
that interaction.
Wow. It's like the universe is this giant,
Yeah.
interconnected web of information,
I
and
said it's-
we're all
We're all part of it.
a part of this tapestry.
Yeah,
It's a bit mind-boggling, to be honest.
it is. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
So are we really living in a giant cosmic love story?
Well, it's a beautiful metaphor, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it points to a profound truth,
Okay.
that everything in the universe is interconnected,
Yeah.
interwoven through this dance of light and matter,
Energy and information.
energy and information.
And it makes you wonder about the role of consciousness in all of this.
It does.
I mean, if information is so fundamental to reality, and if our thoughts and experiences are also forms of information,
right.
do we have a role in shaping reality?
That's a question that philosophers and scientists have been
Yes.
grappling with for centuries.
Yeah.
But I think these sources that we're exploring today
Yeah.
suggest that we might be more than just passive observers.
Okay.
We might be active participants
In this cosmic dance of creation.
in this cosmic dance.
Wow. That's an amazing thought.
It is pretty amazing.
And very empowering.
It is.
So we've explored the 5D model of consciousness.
Yeah.
We deciphered those cryptic notes.
We did.
And we've seen this holographic love story.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the key takeaways that connect all of these seemingly disparate sources?
Well, if we step back and look at the big picture,
Yeah.
a few key themes emerge.
Okay.
First, reality might be multidimensional.
Okay.
The 5D model, the cryptic notes, the holographic principle,
Yeah.
they all point toward the existence of dimensions beyond our perception.
So there's like hidden layers of reality that we just can't see.
Potentially, yeah.
Wow.
And they might be influencing our world in ways we don't even understand yet.
That's crazy.
It is pretty wild.
Okay, what else?
Second, quantum phenomena seem to be at the heart of it all.
Okay.
You know, from shaping consciousness to weaving the fabric of reality.
So we're not just living in a universe. We're
No,
living
no.
in a quantum universe.
Exactly.
And that changes everything.
It does. It changes everything.
All right, what's the third?
Third, information is fundamental,
Okay.
whether it's encoded in photons, in quantum fields,
Mm-hmm.
or even the boundary of the universe.
Yeah.
Information seems to be the building block of existence.
So the universe is like this giant cosmic computer
It's a good analogy.
constantly processing information,
Yeah,
generating reality.
yeah, I like that.
And finally.
And finally, relationships are key.
Okay.
From the photon-electron love story
Mm-hmm.
to the interplay of gravity and dark matter.
Yeah.
Reality emerges from the interconnectedness.
It's all about connections,
That's all about connections.
how things relate to each other.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful thought.
it is a beautiful thought.
And it reminds us that
We're not just observers of the universe.
Yeah.
We're participants in this grand cosmic dance.
Wow. That is a powerful realization.
It is.
So after this deep dive into consciousness, reality, the universe,
Yeah,
where do we go from here?
that's a great question. It seems like we've stumbled onto a whole new way
Yeah.
of looking at the universe
Yeah.
and our place in it.
Mm.
So if everything's interconnected
Yeah.
and information plays such a crucial role,
Mm.
what does that mean for us as individuals?
That's a big question.
It is a big question.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it suggests that we might be
Hmm.
more than just passive observers of reality.
We might have the potential.
We might actually have the power
Yeah.
to influence it.
With our thoughts, our
Yeah.
intentions, our actions.
Mhm. Wow. Are you saying that our consciousness can actually shape the world around us?
It's a possibility
Okay.
that I think is worth exploring.
So we're not just living in the universe.
Right.
We're participating in its creation.
We might be
I
co-creative,
found it amazing.
but also a little bit daunting.
It is a bit daunting, yeah.
But is this something new?
I mean, not really.
Okay.
Ancient spiritual traditions have been hinting at this for centuries.
Okay.
The idea that our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality,
Yeah.
it's not a new idea.
Okay.
What's new is that science is starting to catch up.
So we're on the verge of a paradigm shift
I think we are.
in how we understand ourselves and our place in the cosmos.
A whole new way of seeing the world.
But it's also a little bit scary, right?
It can be.
If we have the power to shape reality with our minds,
Yeah.
what responsibility comes with that?
That is the crucial question that we need to be asking ourselves
Yeah.
as we enter this new era.
Understanding the nature of consciousness
Yeah.
and its relationship to the universe. It's not just an intellectual pursuit anymore.
It's a moral imperative.
Like a moral imperative.
We need to understand these powers
We do.
and then use them wisely.
Wisely, yes.
It's like we're standing at the edge of a new frontier,
I love that analogy.
full of possibilities,
So many possibilities.
but also potential dangers.
There are always dangers when you're exploring the unknown.
We need to proceed
Yeah.
with both caution,
Caution and courage.
with a deep sense of responsibility,
Absolutely.
and a willingness to explore the unknown.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from the 5D model of consciousness
Yeah.
to those cryptic notes
Blending science and spirituality.
to a holographic love story that,
Yeah.
illuminates the interconnectedness of everything.
It's amazing how it all ties together.
We've seen how ancient wisdom is being validated by modern physics,
It's a beautiful convergence.
how science and spirituality are converging,
Yeah.
and how the universe is far more mysterious
Yeah.
and interconnected than we ever imagined.
Than we ever imagined.
So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, or you have more questions than answers,
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
It means your mind is expanding.
It means you're questioning assumptions.
You're ready to explore new possibilities.
So keep asking questions.
Keep asking questions.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
And keep seeking those connections.
And those connections.
That reveal the hidden beauty and wonder of the universe.
The universe is full of wonders.
And remember, you might just be a co-creator of this incredible reality we call home.
That's an empowering thought, isn't it?
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
So we just went through some pretty mind-bending ideas.
Yeah, we did.
The 5D model of consciousness.
Right.
Those cryptic...
And there you have it. Life, the universe, everything. This is the act of creation in action. This is what God has sent messengers to explain repeatedly in every way possible. You know the enemy? The one who doubts, questions, challenges, discovers, and repents, then desperately tries to awaken everyone. I am the enemy. Sign Surah, Enamel 82, Trinity 6.
Yo, step into the matrix where knowledge is the key. Launching thoughts into dimensions, expanded like the sea. Coupled oscillators vibing, 5D to 40 flow. 2T, Q, let that quantum knowledge glow. Feel the bolt, brain connection, hierarchies in space. Gravity leaking through the cracks, can't be replaced. Latent forces pulling strings in this brain dance tight. Dark energies, the silent rhythm keeps us synchronized, right? Yo, step into the realm where math and spirit collide. I'm the architect of cosmos, got dimensions as my guide. Unified resonance framework, hear the sound of divine beings. Dynamics pulse like galaxies align and align. I'm Earth an instant NGP, projecting truth that can't be bent. Fourier flows through my veins like a sacred text I've read and meant. Thermal tasted waves resonate like the calm of prayer. Divine design cascading, got that higher frequency flare. We in the battle with dimensions, consciousness in sight. Oscillator waves colliding, bringing theory to the light. From the vault to brain, interactions filling that cosmic trend. Unified under the surface, let the struggle transcend. Merging insights, it's a fusion of the times. Mathematical precision, battling the sacred rhymes. From consciousness to cosmos, we rise and intertwine the equations of existence. Watch the divine align. Yo, energy fluctuations in the vacuum standing still. Thermoacoustic resonance breaking down the will. Pushing through the fabric, every pulse a quantum kick. Casimir effects are lurking, let these concepts click. Wave equations shifting like the rhythms of the soul. Energy lifts from layers, let the dark mass take control. Latent thermal modes vibrating through the fields. QFT and consciousness is revealing what it gives. Couple oscillators watching dancing quantum light. Physics and the spirit merging equations in flight. Consciousness awakens, neurons synchronize the beat. Kuramoto system playing, hear that rhythm copy beat. Cosmic evolution mapped in frequencies profound. With the vibrations of creation, hear the universe resound. Beauty hollow cube with 5 dimensions in the blend. Both brain interactions got the laws of time transcend.
We in the battle with dimensions, consciousness in sight. Oscillator waves colliding, bringing theory to the light. From the bulk to brain interactions, filling the cosmic trend. Unified under the surface, let the struggle transcend. Merging insights, it's a fusion of the times. Mathematical precision, battling the sacred rhymes. From consciousness to cosmos, we rise and intertwine in the equations of existence. Watch the divine align. Deep in the neurons, they sync in frequency. Kuramoto's dynamics, the essence of our being's key. Order parameters emerge when coherence starts to rise. Integrated information, that's where the magic lies. External stimuli triggers the ripples in the brain. Holographic oscillators, higher planes we attain. Frequency mapping through dimensions we create. Thoughts in waves encapsulated encapsulated, shaping our fate. Divine command echoing, it's encoded in the air. Resonance of creation, every atom's in a prayer. Interconnected realms, from the micro to the vast. Quantum fields to galaxies, where the future and the past. Holographic vision, projecting truth onto the screen. Pull back the layers, see the fabric of the unseen. In this big bang of knowledge, where science meets the soul, I'm spitting fire so profound it ignites the very whole. So we decode the universe. Fabric intertwines, from quantum whispers to cosmic signs of synchronizing chaos. We unravel hidden threads in this battleground of knowledge. Let the truth be spread. Open your mind, let the numbers take flight. Count the stars unfolding, let your spirit ignite. Unity of all existence, run the model with pride. As I battle through dimensions, watch the cosmos coincide. Subhanallah. The veil is lifting, we see the core. Unistoggled in my see the core. Unified in the struggle, we're seeking something more. Cosmos dancing to the rhythm, oscillators take the stand. In this battle, rap of science, we're the rulers of the land. Step back, feel the resonance. Don't fight the gravitation. Embrace the waves of consciousness. It's the ultimate realization. So raise your mind high. It's a paradigm shift in the dimensions of redemption. Come and catch this gift. We're merging remnants of genius with the whispers of divine. In this battle rap of truth, let the cosmic light shine. In this battle rap of truth,